Meeting to order. The Indiana Township Board of Supervisors meeting is now in session. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and before we go any further in the meeting, I just need to announce that we had an executive session prior to this meeting discussing personnel and legal matters. Okay, then we're going to move on, and we're going to go to wait a minute. Yeah, approval of the minutes for the March 11th, 2026 public hearing on the Verizon contract. Everybody's read those? Make a motion to approve the public hearing meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Jorgensen, second by Supervisor Crowley to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And the March 11th, 2026 regular Board of Supervisors meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 11, 2026 regular meeting.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Supervisor Newman, second by Supervisor Crowley. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next thing is citizens forum, and we have 3 people signed up to speak. The first one is Elizabeth Venturno. Probably.
Venturino. I'm not Italian. I'm not.
Full name.
I just go to Duke.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening. I'm a citizen, but my address is on there. I'm a citizen. Hello? Okay, great. I'm a citizen of Indiana Township with 44 acres upstream in the same watershed as the Blue Run and the Cove Run developments. I understand that these developments are being approved as PRDs, and they're compliant with our ordinances, and they're being approved with the standards of stormwater management in mind. I just want to emphasize that I feel like these projects are individual projects, and the cumulative impact on the watershed might not be being considered. Try to remember everything I wanted to say here. My understanding of the current ordinances is that we track the rate of runoff. But with these projects, the developments can significantly increase the volume of runoff entering a single system. The project like Cove Run Road, for example, could increase the drainage and the impact on the system by 1 million gallons of water in just a single storm event. Each of the projects, Cove Run, Blue Run, and others, may meet the requirements individually, but I don't know if the township's evaluating the cumulative impact on the drainage system. Because from a watershed perspective, they're not individual projects, they're cumulative. I'm also concerned, I'm new to the township, about 5-6 years, and I know many of you have been here much longer and making decisions much longer. But I'm concerned with the city tax rate and everything down the road, the responsibility for this infrastructure, storm systems, drainage structures, and the road impacts. Even if they're privately constructed, and I know we had said maybe we could cover Cove Run, that's great. The township ultimately bears the responsibility for the oversight, enforcement, and the long-term consequences, possibly. But I guess my biggest concern moving forward is that we're making these approvals and we're moving them forward without the guidance of an updated comprehensive plan. I think the current plan dates 2011, which I've aged since then. Development intensity and the environmental pressures since then have changed. Oh, boy. All right, well, I guess I'll continue in an email.
Well, yeah, and if we vote, I mean, we'll have a public hearing.
Yeah.
Of it,
Okay.
at least with respect to the
Yeah,
run development.
I understand that this was the vote for the hearing, however, I just don't even think it should make it to public hearing. But it is what it is, and you guys will decide. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Quinn?
Oh, sorry. We thought that was like a sign-in form for the
Oh,
meeting.
okay.
That's my bad. We thought that was.
You guys are intended.
You got 3 minutes.
You got something to say? Go ahead. We got time.
Yeah, because O'Hara made us like sign in. They made everyone sign in, so I just thought that's what it was.
Okay, Jen Klein students or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Jen Klein students?
Well, welcome.
No.
Big fan.
So that takes care of citizen forum.
And you
Is
spoke
there
up
anybody
for
else
us.
that wants
Yeah.
to talk to the board?
Tell Jen I said hi.
Okay.
Okay.
Mrs. Klein.
Mrs. Klein.
Then we'll move on. Development proposals.
Mr. Engineer, would you like to cover that?
Certainly. In your packets this evening, well, let's back up. So the Cove Run PRD, which is its current name, this was initially considered back in February 11, 2026. It was tabled by the Planning Commission for the request for additional information such as a traffic study, the tree survey, completion of the stormwater management plan, and other plans. Those items have been submitted, they have been reviewed by our office. The recommendation of the Planning Commission is to approve the PRD, the tentative approval of the PRD plan with the conditions set forth in the letter that's in your packets this evening. And there was two modifications. One was one of the cul-de-sacs exceeded the 1,200 foot limit, which has been predominantly done throughout the township. In consideration for that, the developer agreed to put in what I would call an intermediate turnaround, and also the widening of the road in certain sections. That was one item. The second was the front yard setbacks. So in this particular PRD, in the townhouse section of the plan, there's a new concept being considered where the front yards are basically going to be left completely without driveways. And all the driveways are going to be in the rear of each townhouse system, served by a common roadway. And the consideration of what the Planning Commission was is that by having all the front yards left basically untouched, that it would provide for a much more attractive plan, which I think everybody agreed to. So that was the other. And in order to accomplish that goal of having that common roadway, the request for the setback modification was made. The other thing that the developer conceded to was the looping of the sidewalks in the plan, so that there would be basically a walking trail that would be in one big loop, basically. So I guess the residents can go around circles. So that was the premise behind the plan itself. The other, I guess, other item that the developer is proposing, at the request of Jeff and myself and one of the advisories, is if you've ever driven up Blue Run Road, there's a rather tight and at the intersection. Cove Run, with its intersection with.
Fieldview, used to be McClellan.
Yes, it used to be McClellan. So that bend is going to be taken completely out of the system by basically making it straight. So that is the recommendation of the Planning Commission.
Right, Mr. Slagle, but the motion tonight is to strictly to schedule a public hearing, correct?
Right.
So it's not,
Thank
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm
the
sorry.
board should not be discussing it because it's not before them yet.
Right.
So just a motion to schedule a public.
Thanks, Herb.
Thanks.
I'll make the motion to approve a public hearing.
And we want to have it in advance of next month's meeting, and I would say at 6:30.
Half hour.
Would you like it to be more? I don't know. An hour.
Probably make more sense with PRDs, I don't know.
So 6 o'clock on May
6 is
13th.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 is fine, right?
I would tend to agree. It's
Yeah,
probably gonna
6
be
is
long
fine.
nights.
I mean, if we finish sooner, we
6
finish
o'clock
sooner.
before our
Yeah.
regular meeting next month.
Apparently, that's May 13th.
May 13th?
Yes. Second Wednesday in May.
Okay,
So,
so your
6:30.
second?
And the motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve a public hearing for the Cove Run Road planned residential development. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And that will be scheduled for our, prior to our regular meeting on May 13th. Okay,
That's all the developments, Mr. Mayor.
okay, thank you.
I'll give you a motion to pay the bills, Mayor.
Motion by Supervisor Crowley, second by Supervisor Hardwick to pay the bills. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. So we go on to reports of volunteer fire companies.
Little report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Emergency Medical Center, or Services, we've gotten a written report from them.
Yes.
Chief of Police,
Nothing to add, sir.
thank you. Code Enforcement Officer,
Nothing to add, Mayor.
thank you. Public Works,
Nothing to add, Mayor.
thank you. Engineer,
Thank you, Mayor. So everybody has a copy of my engineer's report in purple this evening?
Is that for Easter?
yeah.
Yes.
Check.
So we've already talked about the development proposal a little bit, so let's talk about development activity. On the Cove, or the courtyard at Hidden Falls, I still have not scheduled the meeting yet to follow up the final matters on that plan. The township is still holding $118,300 in performance bonds. On the Harwood Meadows Phase 4, the developer still must address the final matters letter, which is still in his court. And again, you still hold a performance bond in the amount of $178,200 to ensure the completion of those items. Harwood Meadows Phase 5, you're holding a performance bond of $403,000. Where you are in that plan is the final overlay of the roadway, and the sidewalks are still under construction. All the detention basins have been constructed but not approved by our office. If you've been out there, you've seen a couple houses being built. Jeff, they're up to what, 6 out there now on Phase 5-ish?
I think I've issued 5 permits.
So somewhere in that neck of the woods, so it's cooking along. On the preserve at Blue Run, they'll be doing the remainder of the asphalt roadway at the end of April. If you've been out there, the second house is at least I can see it going up. There's probably 3 building permits issued at this point. The Fredericks Farms PRD, the developer has not executed the development agreement, nor posted the bonding. The solicitor and myself are still working on the framework of the developer's agreement. On Forest View, you still hold a performance bond of $25,000 to finish the final matters on that particular project. The Public Works Superintendent and myself were out there yesterday to take a quick peek at that. They did do about 50% of the items that were on that list, but they have not completed them. So at some point in time, Larry and I talked about taking the 25 grand and just doing it because I feel like I'm getting jerked around sometimes. Moving on to the Trinity Timbering Plan, we're putting together the closeout document for that. If you've driven by or down Route 910 and taken a look up on the hillside there, you'd be hard pressed to find out that they timbered up through there. So they did a rather nice job there. Nothing new to report on the Harmony and Harts Run. The Indiana Trails PRD, the grading permit has been prepared, submitted to the developer, but no bonding or cash bond has been submitted, so therefore you don't see any activity up there. On the miscellaneous projects, moving down to the MS4 annual report, we'll start working on that probably around July. The one that's of kind of interest, is my time up?
Yes. That was only for fun, Dan.
I know. I think April Fool's was a. Thank you, Mr. Manager. The People's Natural Gas projects. The good news is that they're replacing the majority of the gas lines that are in Indiana Township, and obviously improving the service to our residents. A lot of it is being pushed by the court system, where they're taking what was called low-pressure gas lines, and they're bumping them to high pressure. And I think high pressure to them is 5 PSI, is pretty much what it is. But that's going to improve service. But more importantly, what they're doing is that they're putting these new polyurethane lines in the ground instead of the old steel lines and things like that. So it's all for the good. Bad news is they're cutting up our roads. So the next one that you're gonna see, or you may already be seeing it, is if you go down Blue Run Road, there's already a 18-inch cut line up down one of your lanes, or one of our lanes. The way our township road standards are currently set up, you cut our roads, you're gonna mill and overlay an entire lane. So we're trying to make it more difficult. That's really kind of a bad thing to say. We're trying to encourage utilities to go in the berm, I guess is the best way to say it. And if you do go down our road system, then you're gonna clean our roads. The base is 8 inches deep, and then there's a 2-inch overlay over everything. So in a way, they're backhandedly improving your road system at their expense. So moving on down to Emerling Park ADA Phase 3. I'm just waiting, the notice of the proceedings has been issued, I'm just waiting for that one to go. The Brozick Center roof, I'm still working on. The Emerling Park ADA Phase 4 project, we've got the design just about complete, and we're gonna be bidding that out probably either at your May or June meeting. And then finally, I wanted to thank Larry for meeting with me and going over your entire road system and updating what's called your roadway priority list, which basically ranks all the roads in the township, so we get a better feel as to which roads in which area need the most attention first. I know that your manager has budgeted a fair amount of money to take care of a lot of our road system, which I appreciate. So the areas for, is anybody from the news media here? Okay. So the areas that we're gonna be focusing on this year is gonna be the Heathergate plan and the Rural Ridge area as far as paving. As far as the guide rails, it'll be Blue Run Road on the upper section of that. And then on the shot and chip portion, we're gonna be doing a single shot and chip on Mill Dam Road, and the dust suppression system we haven't really focused in on yet. And later on your agenda, we'll be asking for a motion to advertise all of those projects so that we can use my report.
I have just a question. In previous years, you've given us your rating, for the roads. Will you be providing that with us again, so we can see what the current ratings are?
Yeah, so Larry and I went around yesterday.
Okay.
It's in typing.
Okay, yeah. No, I just was wondering.
At the next meeting, you'll have it, I'll make sure you get it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Solicitor?
I do not have a report.
Thank you. Manager?
I don't have anything to add there.
Community Services? Historical Commission? Okay, Supervisors. District 1, Paul's not here. District 2, I have nothing to report at this point. District 3,
I have nothing to report, Mayor.
District 4,
Nothing to report.
and District 5.
I have something to report. May 13th, this Monday, I got it.
Yeah, I know.
I gave you guys first crack at, we're having a community meeting for potential crosswalk at Arts Run going towards Allard Drive. So that would make a secondary pedestrian entrance into Beechwood Farms from that community. Still ways to go with the county and talking with Audubon and the original Carson Trails Conservancy, but we want to get people into that community because some people want their there to be more pedestrian access, but with that comes cost to some other people who value privacy, so I want to give everybody a chance to show up and make their voices heard. So, 7 p.m.
And just
Next
to,
Monday.
add on to that, something else as part of the meeting is the Frederick Farms that, Mr. Slagle discussed is on the other side of that plan, on the Saxonburg side. Rachel Carson Trail has worked with those developers to, and basically put like a walking track there, and they're hoping to connect, the parts, I think it has the same name. Heartwood Acres, past Heartwood Estates through Frederick Farms, and possibly having a crosswalk to go through, their plan. And so, that will also be a part of the discussion. If anyone is interested in hearing more about the Rachel Carson Trail, they should also have a representative there to field questions or get people on board for adding that new little walking space.
Yeah, Mallard is the border between District 5 and District 4,
Yeah.
mine and Sarah's, but anybody can use this trail essentially, hopefully, so if anybody's interested, you have friends and neighbors regardless of which district you're in. Location of the meeting? Here, just right where we're sitting,
Yeah,
7 p.m. Monday. This upcoming Monday.
Okay. That takes care of reports. Can I get a motion to?
I'll make a motion to approve reports.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor, excuse me, Newman, second by Supervisor Crowley to accept the foregoing reports. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Doesn't appear to be any correspondence. Right?
Correct, Mayor.
Okay, so we'll start with new business.
Next, Mayor, new business, first item, possible approval of appointing Director of Finance, as outlined in my April 2nd memo. We do have the anticipated retirement of our current Finance Director, Ann Moss, later this year. We've completed a search for successor to fill this position, and we've identified Ms. Lena Higgins as the best candidate. I would ask for your approval of that hire. They will have an opportunity to work together for several months to have a smooth transition in that position. So I have to thank Ms. San Martino for her assistance in the interviews and finding candidates, because I think we have a very good candidate.
I was quite impressed with her background and so forth, so I agree that she should fit right in to that position.
I'll make a motion to approve to appoint the Director of Finance.
Here's a second.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Crowley. Second by Supervisor Hardwick to appoint the new Director of Finance.
Yes, that's as outlined in my memo, April 2nd.
As of your memo on the 2nd of April. Okay, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Good.
The next item, Mayor, is possible approval of performance bond reduction for the preserves at Blue Run. And you have a copy of the letter from the engineer in front of you to have it reduced from $1,179,400 to $1,132,300.
Motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the performance bond reduction that preserves the run plan in the amount as set by our manager.
I'll second.
Okay. Supervisor Crowley made the motion, Supervisor Newman second, to approve the performance bond reduction for the preserves at Blue Run. Figures that the township has to do. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
And the next, Mayor, is the possible approval of Resolution 2026-06, which is just simply opting into the county CDBG and home investment partnerships for 2027, 2029. In the past, I believe we just had to do a resolution if we were opting out, so we were automatically opted in. But this year, they've asked us to do the resolution, so I'd ask for your approval of that.
I'll make the approval of resolution 2026-06, opting into the county CDBG and home investment partnership for 2027 through 2029.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Supervisor Newman, second by Supervisor Crowley, to approve resolution 2026-06, opting in to the county CDBG and home investment partnership 2027 through 2029. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
And Mayor, the last four items you can do in one motion if you would like, and that's for the possible approval to advertise for the 2026 paving project, shot and chip project, guide road project, and dusting.
I'll make a motion to approve new business items D, E, F, and G for the approval of, to advertise for the 2006 paving project, shot and chip project, guide rail project, and dust control project.
2026.
2026.
Yeah, we're not that yet. You said 2006.
Simpler time.
Yeah.
You second?
Yeah, I'll second. It is 2026.
Okay, we have a Supervisor Hedrick made the motion, second by Supervisor Newman. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I get a motion for adjournment.
So moved, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Crowley, second by Supervisor Newman to adjourn this meeting. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for attending. I thought you guys would have talked to us.
They did talk.
Yeah, they did.
He said, "Shut up."